We should bring up our first guest. I'm kind of excited because I don't think we haven't really had a lot of. Is he back there? What's that? Yes, he's back there, right? Okay, all right. Well, because we've never done the political thing, like in the sense of like we've never had anybody come on the show to actually help them politically. Like this is kind of an exciting thing, like to have a show, like the Daily Show or something like that, where people announce their candidacy.
Well, I mean, now it's presidential election season,
right? And we've become a very important show.
Yeah, but I truly hope, Dan, that we're not no one's going to come on this show and use that to stump for their own political gain.
I think that any candidate that was going to come on this show would be doing so because they had decided that this demographic is savvy and young and critical thinkers and skeptical, and that their votes matter the most in what is sure to be a very important election. I mean, you guys know how I feel about politics. I didn't when I heard this guy was coming on the show, I didn't at all have to say, wait, who's that, and have DeMorge explain it to me. He's a Republican candidate, and he's been in the news a lot lately. He's a little controversial, but I don't know anything about him, but I know you guys have heard all about him, and you're always tweeting about him. Let's welcome Bernie Sanders,
Senator Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
Wow, Senator. Pleasure to meet you, Senator.
You can just grab any mic you want to sit anywhere you feel comfortable.
I assume the mics were rigged with union workers. That's good to know. I should clarify the introduction. I'm not a Republican.
Oh.
I'm an avowed socialist. I'm the only independent senator from the state of Vermont in the United States Senate, but I'm running for president as a Democrat because, well, I like to change things up.
I feel like I got my information wrong from DeMorge. I thought you were like the new Herman Cain.
Look, you get your information wrong like the American people get inaccurate information from the mainstream media, which is controlled by 5 corporations. It's the same situation. What we're fighting against is the top 1% that controls more than the bottom 60% combined. And if you look at the numbers closer, it's the top 10% of the top 12% of the top 1.1% year-on-year labor-adjusted statistics.
Yeah.
That has more wealth than a lot of further statistics further down the line.
You can't argue with that.
We've all seen those charts and stuff about wealth distribution. What do you say to the people that say, like,
Did you know that over 2/3 of charts that are used to illustrate economic data contains more blue and red graph sections than the 99% of the working class 40% that operates somewhere between the chocolate and vanilla layers of the middle class cake?
Senator Sanders, do you feel that... I know a lot of people think that you might be drawing votes away from Hillary.
Sure. No, I don't think there's any danger of that, and everybody working on my campaign is well aware.
Is there any truth? I never want to be a gotcha question kind of interviewer.
Well, that's fine. My life is an open book. Specifically, it's a 20,000-page printout of the Bureau of Labor Statistics report for the fiscal year 2014 to 2015.
And it's all dot matrix, too. It's all dot matrix printer.
Well, yes, because I believe in fiscal accountability, so I print on very cheap paper, which is still a dot matrix printer. And if I need further copies, I use a mimeograph machine because I'm from the 1970s.
Senator Sanders, is there any truth to the allegations that your hair is actually a sideways wig?
Look, I hope we delve into some hard numbers after this, because I think this is a distraction from the issues, but since it's brought up, I will address it for the people. My hair is harvested on a monthly to bi-monthly basis to provide cotton candy for younger Americans who come from a socioeconomic background where they could not afford cotton candy, and as you know, the summer months are approaching, so I've donated recently my real hair as cotton candy to some lower-income children in Vermont, and yes, I do replace it with 2 wigs that are lowered onto my head.
My union labor.
Like Darth Vader. In the rotunda of the Capitol building.
I think both DeMorge and I in the green room, when we heard your name, thought you were that black guy, that crazy doctor guy.
Look, I don't agree with him on the issues, but I respect him. Bernie, the other one, sure. Look, I think I compared very
name?
well.
Ben Carson. I'm so relieved that DeMorge also had no clue. I'm way out of the loop.
Look,
here.
wishful thinking. Look, I'm a presidential candidate that everyone agrees with on everything, but no one will vote for me.
Senator
I
Sanders.
mean, you sound like you're singing my tune for sure.
If 1/3 of the 2/3 who support my positions were to vote for me, that would be 1/6 of the population that would vote for me, and we wouldn't win the election either.
Okay. So you think it would be difficult? You don't think you're going to win?
Look, I don't think I'm here to talk about winning and losing. I think that's the problem with American capitalism, that we've been obsessed too much with the losers, and that's how the middle $40 billion in the federal budget goes to the top 1% of the top 2% of the top, let's say, 17% of the country.
Is this just kind of a thinly veiled ploy? This bid for the presidency? Are you aiming to maybe settle in at vice president?
Look, I don't have any aspirations further than maybe a nice walk, maybe a nice cup of warm chocolate from time to time.
Senator Sanders, is there any truth?
I will.
Senator Sanders,
hold on a second.
Let me finish the question, Mr. Sanders.
Look, if provoked, I will filibuster.
Let me finish the question. Is there or is there not any truth to the allegation that you are wearing my mom's glasses?
That's a reasonable question. Because what I am doing is wearing glasses that are of the model that is widely available to librarians and mothers across this country who have to work in humiliating conditions as public workers in the education and library systems. And so in solidarity, I wear the glasses that are the minimally covered glasses that you have to wear if you have public health care in these professions. Look, see, we're resonating with people who will not vote for me, but we're resonating with them.
Well, Senator,
they don't even correct my vision to the right degree. I wear them merely to be in solidarity with the hardest working people in this country.
I've been very impressed by you. What little I know about you, you've been very strongly in support of women's rights and equal pay.
Yes.
Yes. I feel like that would be like the most appealing thing for me as a voter is that you actually stand up for the women.
Look, women are 50% of the population.
How many?
But if we really dig into the numbers,
how many percent is 50%?
50%. Look, the bottom 40% of all 50% is equal to the top 12% of the middle. I don't know. Avogadro's number.
Avogadro's number.
I feel like I really have this urge to bring Barack Obama out here and have you guys have like a
look. He exists.
A little debate.
Look, I would be happy to go toe to toe with the President of the United States.
Let's bring him out. Let's bring him out, Barack Obama.
Is he here? Is he here? I think he might be taking a shit. Okay, he's here.
Thank you.
Mr. President.
Great to see you, sir. How are you?
Hello, Mr. Obama. Sorry about that.
Mr. President, how was your shit?
It was a bit brief.
Now, in the green room, Mr.
Certainly it was instantaneous.
If elected president, my shits will all be short in duration, with minimal amount spent out of the federal budget on cleaning up the smell of the room afterwards.
These are your salad days. You can say things like that, and you can mean it.
I'm sorry. Did you say salad days?
Yes.
I don't eat anything as exotic as salad. My diet consists of oatmeal mostly, an occasional porridge, and if it's a celebration, I get some raisins.
Isn't that a bit extravagant, Mr. Sanders?
Look, a box of raisins in 1970 contained over 40 grapes that had been shrunk down to an edible raisin size. Today, over 40 years later, that same box of raisins contains over 20% less grapes from farm to plate because of Monsanto and genetically modified organisms, which I will fight to stop in the impossible scenario where I occupy the White House for even 2 or 3 weeks before the Pentagon calls a coup d'etat, because I am simply unacceptable to anyone with power to be in the office.
But you were also implying that also likewise you don't think people will vote for you. All the powerless people. You don't think. I mean, of course, the grandpas of the world don't want you anywhere near the throne. But you think the voters of the world are also a little jaded.
Well, that's what I'm running for. I'm running for the young people, the people out there who are burdened by. Now, I'm entering a pandering section.
You see, here's the thing.
Sure. Wait, hold on. Let me do my Looney Tunes stopping sound. Go ahead.
You can talk a fair game right now.
Sure.
When you get into the room, the Oval Room, there's a red phone. The red phone might ring. It might be the middle of the night.
That's no concern to me. I'm colorblind. I'll treat every phone of every color with the same respect that I would treat an average gray phone operating year on year on original AT&T payphone wires.
Okay.
Mr. Obama, if I might, Mr. President, I might say,
please do.
I think, look, I respect you as a person and as an antagonist over a nice game of mahjong.
And don't forget, Mr. Sanders, Senator. I guess you're a senator. I thought you were a doctor because I thought you were a completely different human being. You could use his support. I mean, you're not even running against him. Like, this might be a good time to...
Look, I would, but I'm not accepting support from any corporations or any human being that's made up specifically of corporations, which includes Mr. Obama. And as much as I respect you as a person, I think that you, as a labor organizer, did more good for this country than you have occupied the White House. Well, look, the cadence and the volume was there for the crowd to agree, but still to this day, not even in the waning days of a presidency that could only be argued as a failure, people are still on his side comedically, room by room.
I think this country.
I would argue that these days are not waning.
I think this country's ready for a socialist Jewish president. I think that would be an awesome change of pace.
Look, I don't think there's a problem with that, but look, if people are worried that that's unpopular, socialist Jewish, don't worry. I'm also an atheist, and I used to look. I have a very popular time everywhere I go. I get thanked. I don't think we need to dwell on that any further. I think, look, the bottom 40% of the top 60% of the 11% who've even heard of me have 50 opinions on whether I look good on C-SPAN.
Senator Sanders, what flavor is your cotton candy hair?
Look, it's traditional sugar flavored, and this was the result of a freak accident when I was a young man. I saw the Grateful Dead at Brandeis University. And there was some very strong lysergic acid that I sampled at the time, and it altered me, not unlike Peter Parker, sort of superhero, except that my hair turned into cotton candy because it was an outdoor event, and that's what we were eating, and there was sweetness along with LSD. And so it's a gift and a curse, you might say, when your hair tastes so good. When you're doing a speech, a 17-hour speech, like I do on a Tuesday, just when I feel like it, it's humiliating when another senator like John McCain gets up after you and just sort of licks your hair and grabs it and licks it like a goat. That's humiliating. And as president, I would only allow that on Sundays and certain holidays. Thank you.
Right, well.
I'm a little intimidated. This is the largest crowd I've performed for. We've been doing fundraisers around Southern California.
I think you've found your people. I'm just a little.
Yeah, we've got about $40 out of it so far.
I'm sad about how jaded and cynical and like kind of disheartened you've already become. And I just met you. Like I didn't even know there were guys like you out there.
I'm the picture of optimism, but I don't believe in irrational optimism. People say you either think the glass is half full or half empty. I believe that the glass can increase year on year with targeted investments in certain sectors. That the share of the glass for the bottom 40% can be equal to what the share of the glass for the top 10% is, using real dollars, inflation adjusted, back to the original statistics used in the Great Depression. And if that's not a ringing endorsement of the potential of the American people, I don't know what is.
I guess some people just want to hear, like we're gonna kick butt overseas, and we don't have to be afraid, and everything's gonna be fine.
I'm not a jingoist. I'm not in favor of laws that are necessary. If there's any butts that's going to be kicked, they're going to be voluntary butts.
You mean people that want us to go to war with them?
Look, if I think that kicking butt should be like abortion. I think it should be safe, legal, and rare. And I think it should involve consenting adults whenever possible. As far as foreign policy, I don't believe we should have one. I think that we should pull all our military forces back and replace it with some brownies that we maybe a bake sale of some kind in an international scale, which has never been tried anywhere except Norway, and look at them.
All right. Well, I mean, I've never.
And I am a fan, by the way. I'm a fan of the show, the community show.
Oh, you like it? You like Community?
Yes, I think it's a fantastic look at what we need to be doing for American young people who are in the education system and the burden of student loans that they have to face.
Oh yeah. I thought. Yeah. You don't mean moving to Yahoo.
The top
you mean
12% of the middle 6% of the 17.5%. Of the, let's say, APR of 11.7% is equal to or greater than, now this is an algebra problem, I don't even know the answer to this, I'm just posing it to the people, if given X, what is Y? Carry the one, but the problem is the middle class no longer can carry the one because they're too burdened carrying the 2 and the 5.
All right, Senator Bernie Sanders, everybody.
Thank you. Senator Bernie Sanders.
Thank you for coming out.
You.
Thank you.